Welcome to the last section of effective learning. This is the part that I've been looking forward to for the entire course because it's where you can make the biggest difference, both for yourself and for other people. This is where we get to play my favorite role. We've played a lot of roles throughout this entire course, everything from investment banker in Wish to doctor in Fail. But now we get to play teachers. Like, how does this not put you in a good mood right there? What do I mean by teaching? Teaching is broadly defined here. I'm defining it as any way to share information with somebody else. It could be done through a product, like writing an essay, making a video, or a service where you sit down and explain it to somebody else. Or that could even be to yourself. It's about taking information that you understand and relating it to somebody else. Here's the fun part. You can only learn something if you can relate it to what you already understand. That's one of the central tenets of learning. And if you don't get that, that's exactly the point. So, how do you teach? You use analogies. You use things that people already understand. For example, guitar. If I was talking about guitar and I wanted somebody to get it instantly, I can compare it to cooking. I could say, in guitar, we have songs, and in cooking, we have recipes, and they're really similar. Songs are made up of chords just like recipes are made up of ingredients, and some ingredients go together just like some chords go together. And it takes a lot of trial and error to figure out what's the best ingredients for a specific recipe, but you learn some fun things, and it always is a lot of tasty experiences. You can't just do it once and expect it to remember for the rest of your life. You need to use information that's important, otherwise you forget it. But don't think forgetting's so bad. You want to forget some things. Breaking your arm, some snipping that might have happened as a baby. Forgetting's good. What's bad is forgetting the important things, and the only way that you know what's important is by using the information. So ultimately it comes down to using it every so often, and that's the rule of one, which is that every time that we get a new time interval, we review the information. So 1 second after we get it, we review it, then a minute later, then an hour, then a day, then a week, then a month, and finally a year later. That's how often we need to review the information, use it for a new purpose so we don't forget it and we can keep it in our heads and understand it without forgetting it. But the cool thing is that the more analogies you make, or the stronger your analogy is and the more detailed you flesh it out, the more you can actually learn about that original subject, because it teaches you things. It teaches you areas where you may have missed, and that's the coolest part about this. That no matter what, even if you don't share it, but you should, if you don't share it, you still learn something by going through and relating it to what you already understand. And this applies from everything from learning names to Spanish, related to what you already know. So, there is a lot to be discussed here, but honestly, this is the basics. This is what will get you started, and it's about taking that action. That's what all this is about, and teaching is one of those things that you're always going to remember. When one of your students or somebody who's watching your stuff has that flash of insight, that's what you're learning all this stuff for. That's why it matters. And just knowing that, that's all I was hoping for. That's the course, and as always, thanks for getting better.